Hello Reborners, my name is Karen and this is Making Reborn Dolls with Karen. We're back with Gabriel and he looks like this now. We only have the blush to go. He's looking pretty good. His lips are a good color. His blush is a good color. His skin tone's a good color. Looking at his limbs, you can see his creases. You can see his nail color. He's looking very good. And same thing with the hands. Very good. So we're going to move on to our blush layer. We're going to just only put one. I've decided one is a little better. My previous dolls were coming out a little too red, so I've cut back to just one layer on this color. So here we go. I'll get out my sponges. Once again, if your sponges are too dirty, just throw them away and get you some new ones. You want clean enough sponges that you can totally pounce off all the excess that's on your doll. I'm going to shake this up a little. Be careful if you get any on your hands, not to touch your doll with it on your hands because it'll be very concentrated and it will make a big dark spot on your doll. So I always wipe my fingers after I open it. Now, also remember that every time you put your brush into the paint, you're going to mix it. It just separates that fast. Okay, we're going to get a good little bit on here so we don't have to reload it so quick. And we're going to get started. We'll do all the parts that we don't think the sponge is going to reach, including up in his nose. We want that nose to be a color. This will be his last paint color. The only time I ever do more after the blush is if he comes out looking really, really pale or his color's all wrong or something, but it's not. So we won't need to do any additional coloring on his face or his arms or any of them really. So we're just going to sponge him now real good. Got some of his eye socket again. I'm going to try to get it out because sometimes it just gets a real dark color right there in the corner of their eyes that you don't want. And if you wait, you can't get it out. So I'm going to try to get it out right now. It is dark, dark red. And there, I got it. See? And now we're going to take our dirtiest sponge and the hardest, most dense sponge and sponge him first. The only reason I use these is because they're cheaper. You don't have to use them, you can use the other kind. They save a little bit of money for me because these others are harder to find and they're much more expensive to buy. I get these from Dolls by Sandy, get a package of them for $2. And they sponge pretty good for sponging off. Oops. And now I'm letting him, as I'm turning his head, and I'll let it drop down a little bit and touch the jar. Don't put your jar where you're going to let your doll touch the jar. You'll get some marks on it you don't like. I am not going to paint his nails again unless they look terrible. I'm going to look at each and every nail here in a minute and see how they look. But I will paint his lips one more time. I do want them a little bit smoother. But I'm not going to paint his nails because we're going to tip them. I'm going to put him down right there. Let him start drying a little bit. And we're going to start on his limbs. You see all the red we put on him is very muted now. It doesn't look nearly as dark as it did when we first put it on him. It's just a slight little difference in the color on his feet. Makes his toes a little bit pinker and the bottom of his foot a little bit pinker than the rest of him. It's really cute, but it's not bold or, you know, or stark or anything like that. We don't want that on our doll. He's going to be a little bit lighter than some of the dolls I've been making because I'm only putting one coat of this on him. And I diluted it on the last doll, which was, oh, I don't know which doll that is. It's got a pacifier stuck to its mouth, and I can't see its face good. whatever it was, the last one we made. I've already lost track of which one it was. I've done so many things since I've made that doll, including dress about 6 dolls and photograph them this morning. So, yes, indeedy, I've been busy. And I've been rooting, and I've been painting, and I've been sealing. I just don't remember the last doll I did. I do like Gabriel very much. Maybe he will go on sale, I don't know, again, before they take him completely off, you know, before he's gone. And I maybe can get another kit, but he's gonna have to be on a really good sale for me to get one. I just don't know if I can or not. Okay, that's his leg. Now we're gonna do his other leg. We're gonna need some more paint though. This paint's running out on the sponge and the brush. There we go. Now the arms. He's gonna look good as a full baby instead of a 3/4 baby, I think. These are big limbs. Somebody's knocking on the door. Somebody knocked on the door. Okay. But somebody knocked on the door. Well, okay, I heard a knock. Well, okay. Maybe it was somebody knocking on the wall or something from the next apartment. I don't know. I heard something. It sounded like knocking to me. This is a highly, highly pigmented color. It's very, very red. That's why I decided to only put 1 coat instead of 2, because 2 coats is just a little much. But since I lightened it, it might not be too much, but I just decided to go with 1. If I don't like the way he looks, I can always put another coat on, or I can just if I'm satisfied enough, I can just, you know, start putting 2 coats on the future dolls. But I just didn't want to do it on this doll. Just wanted to make it 1 coat. He's supposed to be a 20-inch doll, which is supposed to be a big doll, but his limbs were quite small, so that's one reason I wanted to switch him. I just thought, you know, a 20-inch doll with limbs that little looks like an 18-inch doll's limbs. But Leilani, he's got Leilani arms and Anna legs, and they're both 20-inch dolls too, I believe. So, yay for that. Okay, that's got him painted, so I'm gonna put this brush up and close this paint up so I don't spill it. And we're gonna move on to doing his lips and nails now. This will be the last coat on that as well. So it better look good by now. If it doesn't look good by now, we're in trouble. And it does, it looks good. Even if I didn't put any more on his lips, they would be just fine. But I'm gonna put a thin coat on because I wanna make them smoother. This is going to be a very thin smoothing coat. His face is a little blotchy still. I need to pounce it a little bit more. I'm going to get another sponge out. Well, not that one. Because the sponges I have are very wet. And that's probably why his face didn't pounce well. So here we go. I'm going to just pounce him a little bit more. He just looks a little harsh. Just little bits are going to come off, but it will smooth him out a little. See, very little's coming on. I just needed him to be a little smoother, that's all. That's better. He looks a lot better now. Okay, here we go. We're just gonna paint his lips. Like I said, this coat's not really meant to darken his color that much. It will darken it a little, but I really want to just smooth it more than anything. I just can't tell where the paint is and where it's not. And the dog's gonna bark. She would bark at a butterfly. It doesn't even make noise. She'd find a way to bark at it. She barks at sounds we can't even find when we look for them. Sometimes we just don't know what she's barking at. It's too much. That's his last lip color. Now the nails, we're not going to do them again with this color. We're going to tip them instead. We're going to use our little toothpick and put a little tip on the nails. Got one right here, and here's our paint. And it is starting to separate, so I'm going to mix it a little bit. And then I'm going to have to get another toothpick, this one will have too much on it. So here we go, here's our toothpick. So I'm gonna start with the hardest one, that's this hand right here. Because it's so curled up. It is so curled up. Ooh, that's too much. The tiny little bit you need is so tiny that literally you can barely even see it. It's that tiny. And it's still too much on the nails. Oh. Okay, then we're gonna. The fact that I can even get any on those two nails is a miracle. Messy, messy. And my shaky hands.
Oh, baby.
Can't hardly do this.
She's getting blind.
What?
She's getting blind.
I know that.
She watched me grow it. She's focused on it.
I can't afford cataract surgery for a dog.
I know.
If she gets blind, she just gets blind. I can't help it. Whoops, I see some on her actual finger, but it looks kind of funny. Let's get that off. That's better. Okay, these will be much easier. It's her hand's open. She is old after all.
Yeah. 10 minutes.
Did you say 10 minutes?
Maybe 15.
Okay, I'll be way done by then. I'm just tipping the nails and I'm finished. This is kind of delicate work, but it's not as hard as it may seem to you before you, if you've never done it. It actually is easier than you think. Well, it was easier than I thought, let's put it that way. But it's not as easy as it actually looks when you're doing it. It just looks like it's super, super simple. But it's just, you have to have a steady hand to do it. It is easy, but it's not easy for me because I have shaky hands. I don't want to stop making dolls, so I may just stop tipping nails. I don't know. It's very difficult for me. Super hard on these tiny ones. There we go. I'm always getting it on the toe. There we go. They're all tipped. I can't attest to how good they are, but they're tipped. So we're gonna get him in the oven right fast and get him a bake, and he will be finished. And we're not gonna come back to show the results. We'll do it in a reveal later. It's just too short of a video, and it's kind of a ridiculous waste of time to go, well, here he is, bye, you know. So anyway, we'll do a reveal. So please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and happy reborning.